Okay, so my global action plan is on, it's called Teens Helping Teens with HIV. So a little background research. So HIV stands for Human Immunodeficiency Virus, and HIV and AIDS are two different things. So what HIV is a virus that basically kills all of your all of the cells that would protect you from receiving or from getting a virus. So the HIV basically goes into your T cells, which are the ones that protect you, and they copy themselves inside of your cell and then they kill it. So when your T cells reach a certain number, when they're all killed, you have AIDS then. So that leads to more and more, you're more prone to infection and other diseases from that. So that is AIDS. So the organization that I'll be plan to work with is Dignitas International. And so what Dignitas is an organization that helps people with HIV and AIDS in Malawi. And they provide treatment, life-saving treatment to the people in Malawi who have HIV and AIDS. And they have this clinic there called the Tusangani Clinic, which is the clinic that provides all of this treatment. And what I like about Dignitas is that it is kind of like a self-sustaining organization. So what they do is they bring people in from like Canada or other countries like doctors, and they send them to Malawi, and they train the people, some of the doctors in Malawi, so that they can treat the people there, because they are the ones who know about this disease and the people, the need that there is there. So, and then the people from the foreigners, the foreign doctors, they can then leave and come back. So then those doctors who've been trained can then go on and train more doctors, and this organization can keep growing and expanding. Dignitas currently helps people only in Malawi, because Malawi has given them permission to bring people in to help with this issue. And and so in Dignitas they have something called the Teen Club. And what the Teen Club is a club that's run with the clinic there, and they focus primarily on helping teens with HIV and AIDS, because they are particularly prone to discrimination and stigma from people in society and everything, and they don't know really they don't have like as much like resources and stuff to deal with it. So what they do is, it's like a club that's run by a few older people who have gone through, who have this disease, or who are willing to talk to these teens. So they gather once a month, and whoever wants to come, they can. And this way the teens have some like peers to talk to who are going through the same thing as them, and the older mentors can help them. It's just a place for them to kind of remember that they are like children, and to also like talk to other people. Okay, so kind of about why I wanted to work with Dignitas is I joined the Dignitas co-curricular in first term, not really knowing what it was or what they do, and Miss Single, who is the leader of the club, she kind of opened my eyes to this disease and this the epidemic, and I really thought that there was a huge need for it, and I really enjoyed being in the co-curricular and working with like Dignitas and hearing Miss Single's story about her journey to Malawi and working there and seeing firsthand all of this stuff was really remarkable. And I really enjoyed planning the Race for Dignity and the ping pong tournament we held. So yeah, that's kind of why I wanted to work with Dignitas. Okay, so my overarching goal is to partner with Dignitas to help them by creating a Dignitas youth group at the university I go to. And because there's only currently, Appleby and Western are the only two schools that currently have a Dignitas group that's running. So I think it would be beneficial to expand it. So talking with Miss Single, I realized that I couldn't really tackle the whole issue of HIV and AIDS because that's impossible. So I thought that instead of trying to create my own organization or something, I would just work with Dignitas that's already doing good things, kind of like that. Okay, so in year one, I plan to study science at Queen's University, and so I will organize and plan for the Dignitas youth chapter, which I will start in my second year. So I'll kind of just get together all of the materials I need, talk with the people from the group from Western to see how they kind of started theirs. And I will, at the same time, get involved with the other clubs at Queen's, which which kind of have the same focus as me, but just with different issues. So, the War Child and the West Africa AIDS Club, and they'll kind of help me give me some more ideas on what to do. So, in my second year, I will start the youth chapter, and I will work with creating lesson plans and programming for the teen club in Malawi with my group. And I plan to host events such as the Race for Dignity and the ping pong tournament that we had here at Appleby, because they were such successes, and I could use my knowledge and my planning and stuff from that. In year 3, I will continue running the chapter and continue hosting events and fundraisers, and I will also apply for a Dignitas internship. And in year 4, I'll possibly go to Malawi and see the clinic, and then continue running Dignitas and hosting events. So in the Dignitas youth group at Queen's, when we create like lesson plans and programming for the teen club, I'm planning on running it at Queen's, and then as well as bringing it back to Appleby, because the Dignitas group will still be running here at Appleby. So I'm planning on using that and pitching it to the Dignitas group at Appleby, because they are teens, to see what works well, what doesn't, and then getting feedback from them, and then I would give it to the teen club. And then in year 5, I would work with Dignitas and continue to be in contact with all the Dignitas groups and in Appleby, and maybe go to Malawi again. And so my end goal is mainly to strengthen my relationship with Dignitas, and as well as if I create this club, it will hopefully inspire others and get them more informed about this epidemic, and then therefore they could bring that throughout the rest of their lives, and it would just be this ripple effect, and hopefully other Dignitas groups will start up outside of just the places that I'll work out, and visit Malawi. And that's it.
Jess, can I get you to just right off the bat, because I know from your written report that you spoke about it in more detail. So the teen club that meets, you identified, and I think through conversation with Ms. Single, that they could use some more programming.
Yes.
So just in terms of the lesson plans, can you run us through sort of what is the need and what a lesson plan would look like, or an example of an activity?
So there is a particular need because I feel that the adults who go to this clinic are kind of, their needs are well met because they are receiving like treatment and stuff, but teens don't really have that kind of an outlet that like people could help them and that they could talk to people. So I feel that, and since I am a teen, like I feel connected to that, so that's why I want to work with the teen club. And as well, I'm in peer counseling this year, and we kind of we talk to each other kind of, and we are like a support group kind of, so I could use the lesson planning and stuff from that in a way to bring it to like Malawi. So we do like something called like Roses and Thorns, where we talk about like the highlight of our week and like the low light of our week. So that kind of brings us together. We support each other, we hear from each other, and I think that could really like be beneficial to the people there, because if they talk about their issues like together, they would feel more like connected to each other. They know that they're not alone in this. As well, like there's many other lessons that we do that I feel like I could bring there.
Yeah, I think that's a really good idea. And what I'm getting is that you'd sort of test it out within your own group.
Yeah, exactly.
Then maybe pass it back to Appleby to see what they think. But you're sort of packaging it to say, is this
something
you can work with?
Yeah.
Great. Thank you for clarifying.
I was wondering, you indicate that there are 2 other student chapters of Dignitas. What processes do you have to go through to get permission from Dignitas to start a chapter somewhere, and what supports do they provide you to do so?
So I know that on the website that if you wanted to start a group, all you had to do was like email them and let them know where you wanted to start it. And as well as at Queen's, I know that it's very easy to start like a club. You just need like 3 people, and then you pitch it to like the dean, and then he will approve it or not. And I think that because of my experience like at Appleby and talking with like the Western group, I think I would be a good candidate for starting a club.
And then what does Dignitas provide for you? Do you know?
I don't actually know that, but
I'm sure
I could find
stuff.
Yeah.
Because they want you to succeed as well.
Yeah.
So it's probably something worthwhile to investigate.
On that same note, just regarding the club, starting up the club, do you have any ideas of how you can basically recruit people? Because the club here, there's a lot, there's a lot of hype around it already, so it's easy to get people.
Yeah. So hopefully working with the few clubs that I'll join in my first year, I could get people to see if they have any interest in joining a club like in the second year. And as well, I would do some like campaigning and fundraising and stuff like in my first year, so that they know that like in the second year I'm going to be starting this club. I would just use my friend basis and just talking to people. Yeah.
Start small.
Yeah.
That's
great. I hear there's some Appleby students at Queen's.
Yeah.
Jessica, what challenges do you foresee in carrying out your action plan?
Definitely the finding people to join the club and getting people involved. I think it's always, even at Appleby, it was kind of like a struggle to see how many people would actually come to an event, making it engaging so that people would actually come and stay. And as well, donating is also always hard, getting people to give their money and stuff. I think as well, the informing people about this thing, because it's one thing for people to actually come to an event, but then to learn about why they're at it is something that would be a challenge.
Jess, what are you planning to study at Queen's? I'm just sort of wondering if there's any natural connections, and do you think you still have some further, let's say, academic learning to do in regards to the issue?
So I'm hoping I'm studying general science in my first year, and then I hope to go into either like environmental science or like animal biology, and then hopefully be like an animal rescuer, like wildlife, something like that.
That sounds interesting. And so whether it's with your program or looking at electives that you'll be able to take, just consider in terms of sort of world issues, different perspectives to consider, what's going on in the world and in Malawi specifically.
Yeah, for sure.
So one question. Sorry, what do you think would be the best way to get the information piece out to your peers at university?
So I think something that we did at Appleby was we went to a mall and we just approached like random people, and we told them about what Dignitas is and like what the organization does and where they could donate, and we kind of just went up to people and talked to them. So I think I could do something like that, where I would get like the youth group to, we planned like kind of like a script, and then we gave out like flyers. So I think I could do something like that, just so that people know about Dignitas.
I was just curious, you mentioned an internship. Is that something that's already defined by Dignitas? Are you able to tell us what it is?
Yeah, so on the website, I know that they have a section where you can volunteer, and they just need like information about you, like how you heard about Dignitas, like what are your qualifications and stuff like that. So I think working more like closely with them, like if they know my name and everything, then I will be like eligible for an internship like later on down the road, because I know someone at Appleby got one like after they graduated. So.
In Malawi?
No. Or, yeah, just like at their office.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Are there any questions from the audience?
Yeah.
Jessica, it's great. It's really wonderful to hear how just in this past year your involvement in Dignitas has kind of given birth to your global action. It's been great to see you take the issue to heart, and to see you hopefully be able to give back like you have been affected by your involvement in Dignitas. My question is around the development of the lesson plans. I know you went into sort of the types of things we should do. What connection will you have with actually the teen club in Malawi before actually determining what you'll focus your energies on, so that you'll know that actually what you're developing is obviously going to be worthwhile for you?
Yeah. So I think that I would contact Dignitas and ask them like currently what they're doing, so that I'm not like doing the exact same thing, or like ask them what they need help with, so in case they don't need help with their like lesson planning and stuff. Yeah, and then I would like bring it to them.
Now, I know when back in December was Edwin came and visited
from
Malawi.
Edson.
Are you maintaining a contact with him? Is he sort of your in?
No, I haven't actually talked to him since then.
I would suggest you do.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I'll jump in there and say, actually, Edwin wouldn't be the right contact. You need to start with someone who's in Toronto.
Yeah, like
right?
Michelle.
Because, in Malawi, their access to email and things like that isn't going to be as sort of all the time kind of thing. And someone like Edwin, who's a doctor, is going to prioritize, and you're going to be low on his priority list. He's going to be applying for grants for things like that. But if you start with the head office that is keen to maintain connections with Appleby alum who've been involved, that's how the Western chapter has grown to be this big chapter now, right? And they actually are very surprised at how much impact they've had, especially in the last year and a half.
So starting there and then saying to them, how can I make this global leadership plan? Like, I think it's a really important thing, know that you're even doing this, right?
Yeah.
And starting there. And you'll get loads of ideas as soon as you make contact with just the one, with Michelle.
Yeah.
Well, just one, can I just make an observation?
Yes.
With Race for Dignity, you're going to Queens. Now, I don't know if they have a spinning studio, but there's a place on Princess Street that has about 40 bikes. If you were to host an event, they would probably do that for you.
Okay,
So
yeah.
that would
That's
be
cool.
a lot of those things to Queens. So I don't know if there's that would be.
Because Mr. Zuconic helped me lug them 1 year, so he knows.
That was fun.
In the middle of a snowstorm.
That was fun. Sorry, didn't interrupt.
Jess, can I make another observation too? That obviously you have an amazing resource, single. Having a chat with her about past Dignitas members at Appleby that have gone on to Queen's University could be pivotal in your startup seed group, right?
Yeah.
That you can get in touch with those kids once you get to Queen's, and I bet you they'd all be on board for that kind of experience, having been through such a rich one at Appleby. And then I would also suggest that inter-university competition is ripe. And I am sure that if you said Queen's is going to do this bigger and better than Western, that might be a good goal, right? Yeah. There's always that type of competition that happens at the university level, right? And I think that you can get a quick step up on launching something if you try that angle as well.
Yeah.
Which is very...
And U of T has a chapter, right? U of T has a chapter that doesn't have Appleby alum in it right now.
Yeah.
But you put the caveat out to U of T, Western, and Queens, 3 geographically different areas, right?
Yeah.
See what happens.
And you could really, with then 3 chapters, do some pretty intense fundraising campaigns and challenges and competitions against universities that you can sort of, social media is your friend nowadays, right? I just look at the kind of marketing the Western Dignitas group does, you know, just being on Facebook and Instagram and stuff, and I get all the stuff that they're doing on a regular basis, and so might be a great kickstart for you.
Those are some great comments. I'm trying to write them down so when Jess gets the forms back, she has that to go on.
All right.
Well done.
Thank you so much. Thank you.